What's up, Army? Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to share this space with me. I hope you're doing well. Happy 4th of July. I probably won't post this till the 5th, but happy 4th of July. Anyway, fireworks still going off. It's late, actually. It's 11. And my neighborhood is still popping. I got really stuck for a second. It got really quiet. I was gonna say something and like the energy stopped me. But yeah, I was given the advice to be more specific with my readings, like have a specific goal or question in mind. Just to I guess sharpen my senses, to give them some focus, to give them some direction. It's kind of like having eyes and not having anything to focus on, and probably just weaken your eyes. That's the example I was given. She said something like that. I don't know. But it makes sense, So I wanted to ask you guys if there are any specific questions that you have, or specific readings that you would like. I mean, throw those in the comments. Let me know, and I will do my best to work on it. So today I got my notebook out, and this message is really sad. It's sad, but I feel like it's closure for somebody. So I just asked generally, what does the collective need to hear? What messages do you need me to give the collective at this time? And the first thing I saw was a baseball mitt, like a leather baseball mitt, specifically a leather baseball mitt. And I heard somebody wants a son, and I heard a man say, "I always wanted you." At first I thought it was like somebody has a baseball mitt and they don't know their father bought it for them. I'm not sure if you have the mitt and you don't know your father bought it for you, or he never had the chance to give it to you, because I saw him later on, like sitting with the mitt in one hand and like a beer in another hand, just like sitting in a chair, thinking about his son. And then I started seeing like a red baseball logo. At first I heard Red Sox, like Red Sox fan. But then I was seeing like a bird with like a cartoon bird with a red hat on, and I don't know what team that is. I'm not a sports chick. So I tried to look it up, and I couldn't find specifically what it was that I was seeing in my mind's eye. The only thing I was getting is like it's kind of like a cross between the Baltimore Orioles and the St. Louis Cardinals. So Baltimore and St. Louis may be significant. Those two cities are somewhere in between there. I'm not really sure. I just kept seeing a red baseball logo and a bird specifically. Like I said, what I was seeing doesn't exist. So maybe it's an old logo, like how baseball teams, like they change their logos or their mascots or whatever the word is. They change it, you know, like they switch it up. So maybe it's something older from then when he bought the mitt. I don't know. Um and then I just baseball, red bird, and leather mitt. That's what I kept hearing. Um Again, like I said, I saw him sitting in this, like, it was like a recliner, not like a leather recliner, but like a fabric recliner, but like a big puffy one. You know what I'm talking about? Like a big puffy recliner, and he's like in this chair. It's not reclined, but he's sitting in the chair, and he's got this baseball mitt in one hand and a beer in the other hand, and I don't know if he's watching the game maybe, but he's thinking about his son, and he's young. He's young, like in his 20s. He's young. Um, and then I heard Tron. Somebody's a fan of the movie Tron. I don't think I've ever actually even seen that movie. It's another thing I had to look up when I heard it, because I wasn't sure if I've seen it or not. And once I read the description, I knew I'd never seen it. And he was crying. He was in the chair and he was crying. And the fact that he was holding it tells me that whoever you are, he never got a chance to give it to you. I heard leading the witness. Somebody doesn't know that their father fought for them. They don't know that their father fought for them because their mother lied. And then I heard resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Some of you are holding onto resentment, thinking you know the full story when you don't. You were fed a version that benefited the agenda of the person who told you. In some cases, there's no longer a way to know the truth because the person has now passed on. In other cases where the person is still living, it would be beneficial to at least take into account the other side of the story. Recognize that everybody did the best they could with the information they had. Somebody's mother lied to them about their father, and that's all I kept getting was somebody's mother lied to them about their father. And then I saw a green Impala, like a 60s Impala. And the green was like not like a dark green, it was like that 60s green, you know, like that avocado green. I saw that. And I heard there's more to the story, and I heard she took my underwear. Somebody like I don't know, like that, like I don't know if this man was like just left with his car or what, but there's like this energy that like everything's gone. Like she even took his underwear. I don't Somebody's mother kept their son from their father, and lied to make it seem like their father didn't want them. They watched their son wish for their father and never said anything because they didn't want the father to win. They didn't want their son to choose their father. They knew their son would choose their father. This woman kept a man who always wanted a son away from the only one he ever had. I just got really emotional when I was channeling this. I got lost in it. I had to stop myself, actually. I heard tell him I love him. I always loved him. And I asked for specifics because, the green Impala is pretty specific, right? But I asked for specifics because, this could be a lot of people's story. Like a lot of people. So then I saw a box. There's a box with stuff from somebody's childhood. There's a box. I literally see this box. Like I see this really big basement. like I don't know how to explain it. I don't think it's possible for somebody to just have one box in their basement, but I'm going to assume in some ways that this is a little symbolic because I know my basement's a mess. I don't know about anybody else, but this is like it's almost like a garage. I don't know. I'm seeing like a painted floor, so it's not like it's a cement floor, but it's painted. It's almost like a finished basement, but not finished. If that makes any sense. The floor is painted and I'm just seeing the box like all the way, like I'm standing here and the basement is like whoosh, and the box is like right, it's right there. It's like in the back of somebody's basement. Um it's a box of something from your childhood, of things from your childhood, I should say. There's something in it she overlooked. I heard it's the key. um there could be a letter. You haven't opened this box in a long time, or it's possible this woman gave you this box and you just kind of was like, all right, yeah, great, thanks, it's a childhood I don't want to fucking remember, and you just threw it in the corner. I don't know. There's something significant in this box. I just heard it's there. I don't know what it is, but I assume that when you go through the box, you're going to find it, whatever it is. And there's also a picture of this green Impala. You may already know of the picture, like green Impala, like that may have been that clicked for you. Um, and if not, then there's a picture of it in this box. I stopped there because it was sad. It was sad. Um, it's sad that anybody would do that. There are enough um, fucked up parents out there. You know what I mean? Like, there are enough, and when I hear stories about parents that lie about the other parent, that manipulate situations, that keep kids away from their parents on purpose, it's upsetting because I don't think anyone has that right. I don't care how mad you are, unless the other parent is like harmful and hurting the child, then fine. But to maliciously lie and manipulate a situation just out of, I don't know, jealousy, hate, weird shit. I don't understand how a parent can do that. If this is your story, um, then I'm sorry that happened to you. And the objective of this is not to make you mad at your mother. The objective of this message is to let go of resentment, to let go of the story, and consider the possibility that maybe the story isn't what you always thought it was. There's big emphasis on releasing the stories. We get so attached to the story. And releasing the story doesn't mean it didn't happen. Releasing the story doesn't mean that we're not still who we are. We're a product of everything that we've been through. Absolutely 100%. But releasing the story releases those, I'm literally seeing like the emotions, the trauma, it stays trapped in our bodies. And when we release the story and release all the emotions of the attachment to the story, like, yes, that happened. That's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is no longer being emotionally anchored to something. It's not saying it's okay that you did that. It's not saying it's okay that they did that. It's not saying any of that. It's allowing yourself to release that energy that holds us. I'm seeing like knots in the body. I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but they say that trauma gets stored in the body, in certain areas of our body, depending on the trauma. The message here, although this is specific, the general message here is Spirit is saying, like I said, to release it. I release you. Like, just release. If you want a better future, you have to release the stories of the past. Where do you live? Do you live in the here and now, or do you live there? We get so attached to the trauma. We get so attached to the stories, and I am who I am because they did this and they did that, and I was, there's so many things that I can sit here and say happened. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. There's so many things that I could sit here and say happened, right? To me, speaking personally for myself. I can sit here and say, when I was a baby, this happened. And when I was, 5, this happened. And when I was 7, this happened. And when I was 8, this happened. And this happened. And that happened. And this, but the key word is it happened. And without releasing the resentment, without releasing the anger, without letting it go and letting it just, I'm literally seeing it like flow down the river, like without letting it go. Every time you think about it, let's say this is you. Every time you think of the fact that your father wasn't around, or your father left, or whatever the story you were told is, and you revisit the pain, and you revisit the anger, and you revisit the abandonment, and you revisit all of that, you re-traumatize yourself. And then those emotions get stored in the body and compiled into the body. There's big emphasis lately on the future. I was trying to think of all these ways to say it, but it's where is your focus? Like I said in the beginning, talking about focus, right? Where is the focus? Is the focus on the story you've already survived, or is the focus on the story you want to create? I'm getting the energy of a reading that I did. I don't know what reading it was, but I said recreating family, recreating the concept of family, releasing what we've been told family is, releasing how our family treated us, all of that. Hang on a second. Okay, sorry. So there's this energy of this desire to create better. But there are still pieces that are pinned down in the past. It's the energy of being able to let go of most of it, but still having these. I keep seeing it. It's like what I'm seeing is like a pin being in somebody's shirt. Like there's still this one pin that's holding you here, and there's still this one pin that's holding you over there. It's not a lot of pins. Most of the pins are out. There was a point in time where you were a fucking pincushion, completely trapped in the past, right? There's this one resentment. It's the starting point. It's the first. Without getting into too much detail or any detail at all, a couple months ago I had a repressed memory come up that actually fucked me up. But I needed it. I needed it because it was the key. It was the first thing that set the tone for all the other things. It was the beginning. And working through that memory released everything else that came after it that felt like it. We tend to recreate things. When we don't heal them, we recreate them and give ourselves new opportunities to heal that trauma. And it could feel like torture, because it could be like, why does this keep happening to me? Why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep ending up here? Why do I keep ending up feeling like this? But we could be looking at it 20, 30 years down the line when the original injury is when you were 1. It's not punishment. It's your higher self making you aware of what needs to be healed. Now, when this memory of mine came back, as painful as it was, everything clicked. The root was exposed. There are certain things in our childhood that can be so painful to look at. But it's important to look at it from an outside perspective. It's important to look at it through the eyes that made it through that, not through the eyes that are trapped in that. You know what I'm saying? You're here, you're now, you're in this present moment. You made it through that. You learned, you lived, you grew. You're not that little kid anymore. And as an adult that has learned and lived and grown, you can look at it, or try to look at it, in an objective way and understand that some people don't have the awareness that you have. Some people may never have the awareness that you have. It's important to be compassionate of other people's journeys and recognizing that not everybody is you. Not everybody has the strength, the willingness, or even the awareness to heal themselves or know that they even can heal themselves. On one hand, some people don't want to be fixed because being broken gets their attention. On the other hand, some people don't know they can be fixed. Some people go through trauma and get trapped there and can never look at it from their adult perspective. They stay that child. The message is, regardless of your situation, the resentment is keeping you from your future, from a healed future. Because when I was going through this, when I was channeling this, I should say, and I was feeling this woman lying to her son. And Spirit showed me this woman sitting there looking at her son like watching her son wait for his father and allowing him to think that his father doesn't want him, knowing it's a lie, essentially setting her son up for hurt. And it made me angry, and it made me not want to channel it, and it made me not want to share it. Because me personally, finding that out, well, now my anger switches from my father to my mother. But that's not the answer. That's not the message. The message is it's important to acknowledge that there may be more to the story than you think. And that these people were fucked up. And that it is your responsibility and your job to free yourself from your past. Nobody can do that for you. There's no apology that's going to heal you. You ever get an apology from somebody and it really does nothing? Because you're still hanging on to the hurt. You're still hanging on to the pain. Whoever this woman is, doesn't feel like she's changed very much. You know how they say the best apology is changed behavior, right? If this woman was to apologize or even admit what she did, would it make it better? Would it make that pain go away? Would it give you back the time that you missed with your father? No. The healing has to come from you. The releasing has to come from you. Spirit is showing me like the energy of forgiving yourself for wasting so much time in anger. Because it's like finding out the story isn't what we thought it was, right? It would be easy to turn on ourselves and be like, well, I missed out and I believed it and I this and I that and I could have done this and I could have done that and I should have done this and I should have done that, and that'll get you nowhere. This is not a message to shift blame and shift anger to anyone else, especially yourself. This is a message to let it all go. Because you're only hurting yourself. I don't know if this father is still around or not. But is you being angry hurting him? Or you? And this mother that doesn't seem to like or even know how to take accountability. Is your anger really hurting her? Or you? A lot of times we can feel like if I don't talk to this person, they don't deserve me. They don't. I and it could hurt them. It could hurt them that you don't talk to them, or that, you know, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, it hurts you more. A refusal to make peace, to punish somebody, will always hurt you more than the person you're trying to punish. Especially somebody that is completely unaware of their own behavior. Somebody who feels justified in doing something like this. I don't know. I didn't expect to have this this heart to heart. Especially 33 minutes, 33 of this. It's just this message really it touched me, you know. It's like I can't relate, but at the same time I can completely relate, if that makes any sense. I feel like there's more I should do, but I think I'm just going to close this out and come back and do another short one. See how much time I have left on my phone, and see what happens. I don't know. I hope you got something out of this message. I really do. And if you're still with me, you know you're a real one. Thank you. Thank you to all of you who still show up and support me. I appreciate you. And yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I'll catch you on the next one. You're beautiful. I love you.